Good day, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Azure Databricks series. Today, we are diving deep into delta tables. We will explore what delta tables are and how they enable asset transactions, time travel, and efficient data management. You will see how these tables allow you to track data changes, roll back to previous versions, and ensure data integrity, all within your Databricks environment. By the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of delta tables and when to use it. So if you're excited to master these concepts, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. Let's get started. Delta tables are a type of managed table format in Azure Databricks that brings the reliability and performance benefits of asset transactions to the big data. Asset transactions are the atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. They are built on top of Apache Parquet and provide additional capabilities like versioning, time travel, and efficient updates. Let's discuss about the concepts of delta tables. The first one that comes as far as the concepts in delta tables are the asset transactions. Delta tables support asset transactions, which means you can perform operations like inserts, updates, and deletes with guarantees of consistency and isolation. This makes them ideal for scenarios where data integrity is crucial, such as financial transactions or data pipelines. Delta tables enforce a schema on write, which means the structure of data is consistent and only compatible data types can be inserted or updated. This prevents issues related to corrupt data or schema mismatches. It comes up with data versioning. So every write operation like insert, update, or delete creates a new version of the delta table. This versioning capability allows users to track changes over time and revert to previous versions if needed. It comes up with a beautiful concept of time travel, which is one of the standout features of delta tables. It allows you to query data as it existed at a specific point in time or at a specific version number. This is particularly useful for data auditing, debugging, and rollback scenarios. It has got efficient updates and deletes. Unlike traditional Parquet tables, Delta tables support efficient updates and deletes, which makes it easier to handle changing data. It handles streaming data efficiently. Yeah, Delta tables are perfect for ingesting streaming data because they allow for real-time updates and deletion. They bridge the gap between traditional data lakes and data warehouses, giving you the flexibility of a data lake with transactional reliability of a warehouse. They simplify complex data operations like merging, updating, and deleting data. I have launched the Databricks workspace already. Yeah, and I'm in the catalog of this Databricks workspace. What I'll do now is like I will start the starter warehouse under the Hive Metastore. We will discuss more about Hive underscore Metastore in our later videos when we talk about Unity catalog. But as of now, you just need to start this starter warehouse. Okay. Also, what I've done is like I have started my cluster here under all-purpose compute, and also like this SQL warehouse. Under the SQL warehouse, we have the starter workhouse getting started as soon as we clicked on the starter warehouse here. Yeah, once this these two things starts, what we'll do is like we will look at some sample tables here, and then we will start creating delta tables and explore more. Yeah. In the meantime, this cluster gets created. What gets started? What we'll do is like we will go to the storage account and create a container here, which will basically holds our delta tables. Okay. Let's click on create. Yep, so this is the container which I'll be using for this demo. Yep. Okay, so So the cluster is started now. If you see here, the cluster is started. Also, the starter warehouse is started. Let's go to the catalog explorer, and if you see here, we have the things ready here. Let's if you see here, we have the default schema here with no data, and then as far as the samples are concerned, again we have three schemas: default, NYC taxi, and then TPCH. Okay, so let's click on this customer table here. Yeah, if you see here, as far as the customer table is concerned, we have the data source as delta, which shows that it is a delta table. Okay, now if I go to the details here, yeah, you can see that the location of this delta table is this one. Yeah, DBFS, Databricks, datasets, TPCH, delta 001 customer. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to check what do we have in this location. Yeah. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to this particular notebook here, which I've already created. Yeah. And I'm going to check what do we have in this location here. So let's put it here and then execute it. So if you see here, as far as this location is concerned, we have two things. One is underscore delta underscore log folder, and then there is a snappy dot parquet file. Yeah. So now what we'll do, we will read that content here. Yeah. So if you look at it here, let's execute this command here. So what I'm going to execute is like I'm going to read the content as far as this location is concerned, which is same as this one. Yeah, and then let's execute that. Okay, so we are able to read the content of that particular table here. Yeah, the customer table. Okay, so I'm using a Python script. Now, what I'll do is like now that we have looked at the content, contents of that sample table, what we'll do now, we will create a table ourselves. Yeah, and then let's read it further. Okay, so I'm going to create a table called table1, and column 1 would be integer and column 2 would be varchar 255. Let's go ahead and create it. Okay, so the table is created. Now let's go ahead and check it here. Okay, let's go to the Hive Metastore. And then if you see here under the default schema, we have this table 1. So we have column 1 and column 2. Yep. And then if you see this here, the sample data, we don't have any data. Yep. And again, in the overview, we have created it as a delta table. Yep. And when you look at the details, what we have done is like we have created it in the DBFS user hive warehouse table 1. Yeah, that's the default location where we have created the table. Now, how do we look at this particular location? Yeah, so now what we'll do is like let's go to our Databricks workspace, and then let's go to our managed resource group. Yeah. So now we are in the managed resource group, and as far as the managed resource group is concerned, all these tables that we are creating on the DBFS location, the default location, it all goes to our managed storage account. Yeah, so we will not have any access to that storage account. Yeah, if you go here and go to the containers, you have these containers here. Yeah, And now you look at the settings here. The location is like it's in the user hive. Yeah. Now the problem is like you will not have access to any of the containers here. Yeah, you just click on it and you will see you will not have any access because the problem is like it's a managed storage account, and this is managed by the Databricks, so you will never ever have any control over the default location that is using your managed storage account. So as a best practice, what we do is like we never ever create delta tables on the DBFS location, that is the default location. I've just created it just to show you the pitfall. Yeah, so we never ever do that. But what we will do is like we will mount our own location. Yeah, and that is the reason I've created this container here called delta tables. Yeah, now by mistake, if you don't use your own storage account for storing the delta tables, then you will end up having this issue wherein you will not be able to check any of the files. I will tell you like why it is required for you to look at the files and things like that, but it is always a best practice that you use your own storage account and not the managed storage account. Yeah, that's very critical. Now let me upload a CSV file here. Yeah, the CSV file is hdfcbank.csv. Okay, let me upload that. And now what I'll do is like I will create a delta table. So not using this CSV file, I just want to upload the file. That's it. So now let's go to the notebook here. Okay. So we have created this table one, which was on the default location. Let's move away from that. Now what I'm going to do is like I'm going to unmount the mount point mnt/delta tables if I have it already. Okay, let's go ahead and start that. Okay, so in my case, I had this mount point, so I have unmounted it. Okay, now what I'm going to do is like I'm going to mount the storage account again. The storage account name is JBADB storage account. The container name is Delta Tables. Okay, and the mount point name that I'm going to use is like /mnt/Delta Tables. Okay, so now what I'm doing is like I've given my storage account access key directly here. Yeah, and what I'm basically doing is like I'm first mounting this mount point. Yeah, and then I'm checking if there are any files. If there are no files, I'm basically giving I'm printing it whether printing it that the mount point is empty. So I've uploaded a CSV file there, so I shouldn't be getting this. Instead, I should be getting that there is a CSV file there. Let's have a look. Okay, so it's executed. If you see here, the mount point is created now. Yeah, MNT delta tables, and we can see that there is one file hdfcbank.csv. So it is there now. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is like this time I'm going to create a table called table 2, which is same as last time where I created table 1, but I'm very clearly telling that using delta location mnt delta tables table 2. Yeah, let's go ahead and start it. And let's wait for it to get executed. So it is executed now. Yeah. Now what I'll do is like I will check here and then see if we have that table 2 created, and then let's look at the location of that. Yeah. Okay, so click on this default. We have this table 2 here. Yeah. Now click on that table 2. And you have this column 1 integer, column 2 varchar 255, and data sources delta. Yeah, and sample data you will not have anything there. Yeah, and then if you look at this details here, this time we have this delta table created in mnt delta tables table 2. Yeah, now let's head to our delta table container and then do a refresh here. And if you see here, we have a folder called table 2. And then we have this delta underscore log folder, and we have some files like CRC and JSON. Yeah. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to insert some sample data. Yeah, and then see what all files are we going to see in this particular table. Yeah, let's head back to the notebook here. So we have created it. Now what I will do is like it is time to insert some data into this table. Okay, so I'm inserting like 5 records here. So let's go ahead and insert it. Okay, so it basically tells like 5 rows are inserted. Yeah. Now what I'll do is like I will go back here, and then what I'll do is like let's click on the sample data here. Okay, so I need to do a refresh here. Let's click on this table too. So you have these datas here. Yeah. Now let's head to the container here, and then let's do a refresh here. And if you see here, now you have a Parquet file here. As soon as we inserted some data, we are able to see some Parquet file here. Okay. And again, if you look at the history here, yeah, you can see that there are several versions here. Yeah. Okay, so there are 2 versions here. We will uh, um, um, do some data manipulations like insert, delete, and update, and then we will see how these versions are changing. But as of now, if you see here, there are 2 versions. One is create table, and then one is this write operation. And if I look at this write operation, uh, and you see this here, you have 3 items here. Yeah, and you see this num files 1, and then number output rows is 5. This is what we are seeing here. Yep, and then you have this operation parameters. Yeah, and there is nothing much you get it from here. Yeah, but if we see here, we have 2 versions. Yeah, one version is for your create table, and another one is for your insert statement. We will go to the Delta tables storage container, and then if you go to this Delta log here, yeah, as I told you, showed you earlier, like we have these files here. You can open these files and see what contents you have inside. Yeah, so if you see here, if I'm opening this JSON file, you are able to see like you will get the information stating like what is the user ID, who did what operations. All those informations can be seen here. Yeah, it's like kind of an open source wherein you will be able to use it with whatever you want. Yeah, so this is on the JSON file, and if I look at this CRC file, yeah, so you will be able to get the information like the table properties and things like that. Yeah, so it shows us the table size in bytes, number of files and things like that. So you will be able to look at all these files here. Yeah, and also like if you want to look at this Parquet file, you can check that one as well. Yeah, so the thing is like you will not see any actual details on that, but you will still be able to open the Parquet file. Yeah. So now what we'll do is like let's head back to our notebook. We have inserted close to 5 rows. What I'll do now is like I will insert another 2 rows. Yeah. Let's go ahead and run that, and 2 rows are inserted now. Now what I'll do is like I will display the rows that we have inserted into table 2. Yeah, so if I execute it, we are able to see like close to 7 rows. Yeah, and now let's head back to our uh, catalog explorer. Yeah, and let's look at our table 2 one more time. Let's look at the history there. I just refreshed it, and if you go to your table 2, Now you see like around 22 September 1:23 p.m. I've created the table, yeah, and then around 1:25 I've done a write operation, that is basically an insert, and again around 1:32 I've done another insert operation, yeah. Now let's go there and then look at this operation matrix one more time, and if you can see here, we know that initially we inserted close to 5 rows and then 2 rows, so we will be able to see all those information here, yeah. So now let's head back to our notebook here. And now what I'm going to do is like, now that we saw the different versions here, yeah, 0, 1, 2, 0 is where you created the table. Version 1 you inserted 5 rows, and version 2 you inserted 2 rows. Okay, so now what we can do is like we can do a time travel as far as the delta table is concerned, and let's execute this. I'm basically telling like show me the rows on table version as of 1. So basically I'm asking those 5 rows to be displayed even though we have 7 rows. I'm just basically doing a time travel, and then I'm listing out only the required rows. Yeah, this way I'll be able to go back and check each and every operation. Yeah. Um, and now we are able to see 5 rows because I'm using this version as of 2. Now if I use select star from table to version as of 2, then I'll be able to see close to 7 rows, that is all the rows on that table. Yeah, so now what I'm going to do is like I'm going to delete all rows from that table 2, and I have a predicate like a column 2 like PAN. Yeah, so if you execute it, you will basically not be deleting any rows, because I'll tell you the reason. Because if you see here, uh, the values as far as row number 2 and 7, it starts with capital P, yeah, but we have a lowercase p here. So now if you see here, I've used capital P here. Now let's execute it here for this delete. I just wanted to show you guys that it is highly case sensitive, so you need to follow that. Yeah, now 2 rows are deleted here. Okay, now let's execute this query where we will check for all the rows on the table, and then if you see here, we don't see that rows anymore. Yeah, the rows that starts with PAN, those rows are not there anymore. Yeah, now what he'll do is like, let's go to the storage account. Yeah, and then let's go to our delta tables here, and then to the table 2, and if you see here, we are able to see several Parquet files here now. So when we started, we just had one Parquet file, but now we have close to 3 Parquet files. Yeah, so we are basically maintaining one Parquet file for one version. Now let's go to the catalog explorer. Let's refresh it. And if you see here, what happens is like we have this many versions here. If I do a recap, 0 is version 0 is your create table. Version 1 is like you inserted, we inserted 5 rows. Version 2 is like we inserted close to um, 2 rows, and version 3 is delete, where we gave a wrong predicate, that is a small p, and it did not delete any rows at all. Now if you look at that here, the operation metrics, you'll be able to see that. Okay, if you see here, uh, number deleted rows is basically 0, and now if you see here, the num deleted rows should be 2. Okay, so you see this num deleted rows is 2. Even though it did not delete any rows, we still have a version for that. Yeah, so now, okay, yep, and then version 5 is optimized. We'll talk about operation optimize later, but as of now, these are the versions. Yeah. Now, what we are going to do is, like, let's go to the notebook. Yeah. And now, what I'm going to do is, like, I'm going to do a time travel and recover the deleted rows. Yeah. So for that, what I'm going to do is, like, I'm going to first um, check what would be the version. So we know that this is where we deleted the rows. So version is 4. So now what I'm going to do is, like, I'm going to do select star from table 2 version as of 4, and let's execute it. So version as of 4 is where we deleted it, so we don't see any data. Yep. If you see here, this is where we deleted the data. Yeah. So if you see here, so the rows were deleted here, num deleted rows. Yeah. So now what we basically have to do is, like, we need to use version 3. Let's try that. Now, if you run this, you will be able to get that deleted records, the 2 records that were deleted. You will be able to get that. Yeah. So now you see this. We executed select star from table 2. We don't see that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to insert those deleted rows back to that table. Yeah. Let's execute it. And if you see here, um, once this is completed, we'll be able to see that 2 rows were inserted into table 2. Okay, so 2 rows are inserted. Now let's execute this command here, and then you will be able to see that these 2 rows that were deleted is now part of this table. Yeah, so this is how you can use the time travel concept, and then look at data that were changed previously, and if you want to roll back, change it to whatever version you want, you'll be able to follow the same things. And that's the beauty of time travel in the delta tables. Okay, so now what we can do is, like, we were using the version number. Now you can use the timestamp as well. Yeah. So if you see here, now if you want to look at the data as of timestamp this one, that is 1:25 p.m. Yeah. So what you can do is, like, you can run this command. Yeah. But the thing is, like, this is in IST right now, so you will not see any data. Yeah. So the answer. So what we need to do is, like, we need to basically change this to UTC. Yeah. So it would be like 7:55 a.m. Yeah. So what I'll do is, like, we will put it as 7:55, and then let's run it. And if you run it, you will be able to see that at that point in time, you had 5 rows on that particular table 2. Yeah. So now let's do one more thing here. We will look at this one. But now what I'm going to do is, like, I'm going to get the UTC time here well before running it, because we know, just want to show you guys, 8:05 a.m. Yeah. So here what we'll do is, like, we'll give that information here. Yeah. It is 8:05 a.m. UTC. So let's provide that and then execute it. And if you see here, when we executed this, we are able to see close to 7 rows. Yeah. And now if we go to our delta table container and then do a refresh, you will be able to see, like, we have close to 5 Parquet files, and each Parquet file is basically for maintaining the version that we have created as part of the different changes that we have done to the table, like different data that were inserted. For each version, we are maintaining a Parquet file here. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Jai Hind.